episode 36 of One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing the new Broadway musical adaptation of Cameron Crowe's 2000 film, Almost Famous, with book and lyrics by Cameron Crowe and original music and lyrics by Tom Kitt and directed by Jeremy Herrin. As far as musical adaptations of films go, Almost Famous is adequate. There's nothing really remarkable about it. The musical numbers are sometimes entertaining, and the story gets told in a more or less efficient manner. This all creates a lukewarm rock musical about William Miller, played by Casey Likes, a bright but terminally naive high schooler who's so smart he has skipped a couple of years of school, and his mom has lied to him about his age in the process. When his older sister Anita, played by Emily Schultheis, turns him on to rock and pop music, he becomes an avid fan and aspires to be a rock journalist. It's 1973, and at the age of 15, he finagles his way into being contracted to interview Ozzy Osbourne. Instead of meeting Ozzy, he ends up meeting this band named Stillwater and coerces Rolling Stone magazine to let him do an in-depth article on them instead. The musical then follows his travels with the band during a tour across the U.S., getting an intimate look into the torrid rock and roll lifestyle, watching the band bicker and fight, and hanging out with the groupies called the Band Aids, led by the enigmatic Penny Lane, played by Solea Pfeiffer. The story is kind of an amalgam of real-life events Cameron Crowe actually experienced as a young journalist covering bands like the Allman Brothers and The Who. Now, I really enjoy the movie. It's a really good film, but the musical lacks the spontaneity that made the movie feel so organic. What most immediately comes to mind is the classic Tiny Dancer scene, for instance, which is devoid of organic creation and feels forced because it was one of those memorable moments in the movie and thus needs to be in the stage version as well. But the worst part about Almost Famous is that the first half of the musical is mostly a terrible bore. There are a couple of good moments. The opening number, 1973, gives good promise to the show with solid energy, and the doorway sequence with William and Stillwater lead guitarist Russell Hammond, played by Chris Wood, is an excellently choreographed and trippy sequence during the number Something Real. But the rest of the first act is pretty forgettable. Things do improve in Act 2. The conflict between the characters become more involved, making them more interesting, and Tom Kitt's songs have a bit more life to them. But sitting through over an hour of tepid storytelling, it's a tough go to rescue the musical from its doldrums, even with an excellently staged scene with the band in a jet plane in the middle of a lightning storm, and then it's only about half there at best. Much of the problem comes from the characters and their general lack of definition. Though Chris Wood gives an energetic and compelling turn as Russell and Casey Likes does a great job as William Miller, the rest of the characters don't have much substance. As initially compelling characters like Penny Lane appear to be, they all tend to be elusive toward William, making it difficult to care about what's going on. That is the problem with the nature of film versus stage presentations of a piece. The point of view has to work, and in film it's a little easier to focus on William as he is whom the story is about, and his maturing into an adult, observing these others who don't offer much in terms of substance. The film brings focus to his observations and reactions. On stage, the weak spots in the narrative are exposed because there's no camera to pan away from what's going on to focus on William and his evolution, and we end up being stuck with stereotypical temperamental rock stars and banal cliches. But at least the cast is giving their best efforts along the way. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you're interested in seeing Almost Famous, I'll leave a link in the description. You can support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the national tour of Aladdin. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you at the theater.